just a caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy.
No, no,
What happened?
no!
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Back! Magister, I'll kill you, just like the rest of them!
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone? Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. Dead.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles. It's not cold, yet her shivering is relentless.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss Lohar will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember. They're helping sorcerers. We thought we could help them against the Magisters, but...
She flinches at the slightest rustle of wind through the long grass. Terror in her eyes, she stumbles away from you. The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raises an eyebrow at your approach, but says nothing.
Ain't up to how. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Ooh, Baron won't like that. Won't like that one little bit.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling.
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidvoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
The younger one grows pale, and his eyes open wide. The magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwell can come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
You ever think about running off?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah. Guess you're right.
The silent monk's stitched lips are the colour of sea ice. The expected happens. Nothing.
This town looks peaceful enough. Let's find out if looks deceive.
On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man.
Raspy gusts of breath wheeze from the creature's back.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favorite one. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. The very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Did I give you the illusion you have a choice? How absurd. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you. The time has come, my stitched-lit lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
These sacks weigh like lead. It's a disgrace I have to toil like this. I'm a magister, not a damned silent monk.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You, the supposed source hunter. I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. Yes, I am very much aware. Wasn't my damned head that hit the floor back there. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the bishop's bones, you saw it? Now, out with it, man. What happened? Void woken. That means source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. And I've a fair idea who that might have been. Raymond, that old goat. Always suspected there's more to the Driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure. And hard workers, too. Half of them are their Queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is, surely. A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile. where I believe the dwarves might have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
What's up, Chief? What, this old gaggle of weirdos?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
What? Didn't you hear, Melody? We're off to find the mice and the master. As such...
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients.
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of...
Penny for a sick dog? A glance at the dog's miserable face tells you it's sick, all right.
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Thank ye kindly. Any chance of another one? Penny for a sick dog and all that? What am I, dog's doctor? Dog's sick. Go on, give us a penny for a sick dog. Putty for a penny, you can sing him a love song and call him Mummy. Much obliged. Could I push you for one more?
The dog lies there quietly, clearly in great pain. It snaps at your hand.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone. He licks your hand and grins. Then he turns to his master, gives him one loud bark of protest, and leaves.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. That was my livelihood. Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here. No. You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
Never forget it. There's a lot of call for the junk you sell. Smells worse over here than a dozen raw names.
Nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. Go on then, get lost, you freeloader. I'm working it up.
Good day to you.
Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know? Well met, friend.
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scale.
Have it your way, mate.
As long as I don't think about it too much.
The door has been sealed shut. The Magisters have nailed a notice to the door. The notice reads, "Warning, do not enter. Crime scene. Meister Siva has been accused of conspiracy, murder, and high treason. She shall hang by the hands at the farmlands gallows until trial. Anyone found trespassing on these premises before her trial concludes shall be charged as an accomplice and will share her fate. You notice that the message is signed Magister Raymond in the name of Dallas Most Holy.
You can't go in, mister. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked the door. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for god people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me, but then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone listening.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns and skips away.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here? What? Oh, no. Poor Demori. Go tell Magister Raymond or Magister Julian immediately. They'll raise the alert. Go.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings her voluminous sleeve up to her face. She sniffs loudly and suddenly jerks to attention, eyes red-rimmed with zeal, and something else.
They won't take me unawares. I'm ready for anything. See? I haven't stepped in. Well, I'm ready. That's what matters. Vigilance!
She laughs an unpleasantly brittle crackle.
Sleep is for the weak. Weak!
Surrounded by incompetence. I deserve a better posting. Nelson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Keep your eyes peeled, would you? Ramos the Wanderer promised he'd be here.
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your... Then a smile creases his face, a smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew? A bold choice, on the face of it, unless you're looking for something a little more tantalizing than a meaty stew and a mildly alcoholic.
He raises an eyebrow and gives...
Who shall rise? Who gains the title most divine? We wait, we wonder and wonder, seeking signs of the gods. May the seven usher us to paradise against all the odds.
Dear nation, I can't one of the ones that's on the hill.
For Alexander the Innocent.
He purses his lips. His fingers drum a pattern on his elbow as he assesses you.
I'm sorry, I mistook you for a different kind of person. My mistake. I shall return to serving me other customers, and I wish you a good, if boring, appetite. I'm sorry, it's not about the money. Really, you insult me now. This is about fellowship, about a shared worldview amongst devotees of strange and exhilarating experiences. Money is irrelevant.
A smile spreads across his face. He holds out his hand.
Now we're speaking the same language. So, let me ask you this. Across the world, who is renowned above all others for their exquisite love-making abilities? Well, I'm sure that in your own case, that sentiment is almost true, my friend. The very best lovers are, whisper it, lizards. And for a barely significant sum of gold, I can introduce you to the greatest lizard lover the world has ever seen. The price, I'm afraid, is not negotiable. We don't have anything else to discuss, so if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
You've got enough in front of you still.
Weep, my friends, for Alexander the Innocent. Killed by sorcerers. A most you have interrupted my newest master.
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something new. Great! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. Well, my friend, if you tie...
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
What on earth is that noise?
That would be my stomach, my lord. Perhaps I could go downstairs for a bit of stew?
Absolutely not. The coffers, man. The coffers, they're to be guarded day and night.
Yes, of course. Of course, my lord.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander...
Papa no. You no go.
He grins, unpleasantly.
Loha didn't tell me to let anyone of your description in, so why should I?
He grabs your hand eagerly and laughs as you execute the finicky ending maneuver with much panache.
You're the right sort for downstairs and no mistake. On you go, on in.
I've spotted something. I don't have the right tool for digging.
Look at that. Good to meet you, Governor. What's your poison, Dan? A sip or a smoke? Take all the time you need. Pleasure doing business with you, Governor.
Mercy, mercy.
Watch him fight. Watch him. See that? Right in the kisser. Doesn't.
My good sir, I see that you accompany no other than His Royal Majesty, the Red Prince. I have a message for him of quite vital importance. If you'd be so kind.
Of course he'll be so kind. Speak freely, kinsman.
Directions, my lord. I was bid to send you to none other than Bramos the Wanderer. He was waiting for you here, my prince. But...
He looks around the hazy room with hasted eyes.
The House of Shadows stirs. The Honorable Bramos sensed them closing in. He had no choice but to flee from Driftwood. A little ways east he went, in search of safety, to an encampment of paladins. You will find him there, Majesty. And with that, I have told my tale.
Indeed I am. We will follow your directions. You have my thanks, kinsman.
Prince of Princes, I am humbled and grateful.
He bows deeply before the Red Prince, as reverently as one would before a god.
The House of Shadows stirs. An ominous phrase. It's as if I can feel the onset of night. Quite. But you must realize that until a short while ago, the very existence of the House of Shadows was a mystery to us. If this thing of darkness steps into the light, it must be desperate. And desperate means dangerous. Who said anything about fear? I hardly know the meaning of the word, but I suppose you do have a point. If they are dangerous, we will simply have to be more dangerous. And if they fear, we will prove worthy of their dread. Onward, then. Let them strike when they may. We shall be ready for them.
Did you know our arena champion's a bloody cheat, stranger? Murga tricked me and bit off my earlobe before the fight had even started.
Good gods. Is there a void woken down there?
In the shadows, a dwarven woman spits obscenities down upon a cake,
More fodder for the arena. Let Murga the champ.
curling her torn lip back over broken teeth. She grabs your hand and pulls you down to the ale-soaked table. Never losing eye contact, she begins arm wrestling you. She glimmers in and out of view, merging with the shadows. Crowing, she slams your hand down into the table, hard enough to draw blood.
You need to practice more, dear. Try some pull-ups before you even think about going one-on-one with me. I bested that void woken below us, you know. Dragged that scaly lump down there with my own 2 hands. So, since you can't hope to beat me, what is it you want down here?
Who in their right mind would keep a void woken locked up like this?
Down for a little scuffling and tussling? Let's see if you got some fight in you.
want? Boss is busy. Loha, you've been living under a boulder. Good. But listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be respectful. Not here to chit-chat with the likes of you.
Easy. Marla's one of us.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This?
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anhar? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper. Bart, Kate, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You better have a damn good reason for coming here.
I heard rumour Mortis is working for the Order. What say you?
The battered dwarf pulls her lips back into a garish, open-mouthed grin, flashing blood-stained teeth.
Brave lad, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me. You came into my house, bub, not the other way around.
He winces loudly and holds a hand to the bandage on his side. The large red spot in its center has grown larger and wetter.
Leave a wound alone and it'll patch itself right up. Longer it takes, the less likely you'll let it happen again. Sure I did. I lay my trust where I shouldn't have. Won't happen again. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy? I've got people. They've got people. People talk. The Magisters never shut up long enough to listen. But me, I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meister Seaver's people. You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all? So, what do you want? Ah, I should have guessed. I could help you. But last I heard you was working for the Magisters. Big shots at the boats. Now, why in the name of all the hurts would I help a worm like that? What a load of shite. Seaver's got an eye for talent, though. Maybe there's something to you. I reckon I could help you out. Depending on what you can do for me.
I heard rumour
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's going on. And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him, see if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy. That'd be up to him, wouldn't it? No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own. Well, like I said, Mordus is a special guy. A sorcerer, matter of fact. Maybe even one of the ones Seaver's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my word with him. Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind, really. Good luck.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
And it's the likes of you that's to blame, Lizard.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right.
Wars are brewing, my friend, and I'll stand by your side. But prices will go up, even for one of our own. Buy now and buy often. Special prices for you, my friend. Gotta stick with your own in times of trouble, right? War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Executes 24 nobles.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it. Wars are brewing, my friend, and we may find special prices for you. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
Keeping it together, Bree.
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Alexander was slain by singers! Culprits still at large! Justinia executes 24 noblemen.
Keeping it together, Bree.
Subordination.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
they don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Anything that will protect against void wake.
Toilets by fire, cold. Why welcome? God knows what's stuck on the beasts.
Cold steel.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seegers! Culprit still at large!
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
What? Nothing less than the wisdom.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Executes 2 dozen
Then
noble...
don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire! Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop
Keeping it together, Bree.
was slain by Seegers!
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 2 dozen noblemen for insubordination!
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. It's not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Bishop Alexander was slain by singers.
God knows what
Culprits
stuff
still
those
at large.
Cold steel it is then.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 2,000 noblemen for insubordination.
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right. As long as I don't think
Tell me, have you heard any news?
you're safe.
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes,
Smells
yes,
worse
of
over
course.
here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Order to march against the ancient.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right. As long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by singers. Culprits still at large.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 2,000 noblemen for insubordination.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right. As long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Culprits still at large.
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right. As long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Fish sticks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such fish?
The kind that don't fancy starving along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
You're safe among friends.
Ah.
Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Reed? I'm all right. It sounds like you're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Useless. Bloody Might as well have rotted in the death fog. What's even the point?
Back, sorcerer, back!
Place Lohar mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids. She calmly opens her left eye.
What do you want?
The dwarf unfolds her arms.
All right, human. Right, glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something. That weird priest's been hanging around Lohar for ages. Now he's vanished. Those half-wits below will know more. Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brains. Ain't no rest for any dwarf in Driftwood.
Pick up a scent, did ya?
Picked
He
up a
smells
scent, did ya?
sorcerer.
He smells a sorcerer.
have more luck asking Duna to open it for us than for
I've spotted something. There we go. The door's opening.
Duna's dagger elf. You here to free us or kill us?
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Mortis is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Nohar ain't gonna be pleased.
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohar and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or 2. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohar down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Mortis went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
This won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow. Your words are swallowed by the chamber's thick air. The stone is cold against your palm. If...
Better get out there before Mortis makes it all the way, all right? That's right. Lost one of my best lads, Anhar. Didn't get Jalia's body back, though. Maybe one of them beasts took her like they did the sorcerers. We will, once the Reds turn down the alarm a bit. They're jumpy as all hell for the moment. Won't do anyone any good to raise a ruckus now. Whatever needs doing.
What's got into you?
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then. Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Come now. Is this really necessary?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! That's internal order business. You do well to leave it alone. Let's just say Zeus and there was of help to sorcerers, and leave it at that.
A fly buzzes around the dwarf's mutilated... The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there gawping as if you were a cow ordered to dance a reel. It is a masterful performance. I would applaud it, but well.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and
Melody is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it too. Apparently I was a rich vein to be mined, and now I hang powerless as any butchered carcass. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength, but not enough to leave me a hollow sack of flesh and I had hoped they simply wished to preserve my charm and beauty, but no. It seemed Dallas had ordered that I be held until she could do the deed herself. To give it the personal touch, I imagine. Now that you have had that that delightful little nugget of gossip, perhaps you could do your damn job and let me loose?
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Insufferably stupid. As if there was any doubt. Oof. It was obvious, God-woken. You are whippet thin, implying you've been a captive. Your wrists have seen the sun, but your neck has not, so you sported a collar, not shackles. Thus you escaped Fort Joy. After an escape, any sane creature would rest, but the bags under your eyes indicate you haven't. Why not? You must have been chased. Thus,
Thus you must have been in. No one important escapes a prison without help, and no one frees sorcerers bar the Seekers. They thought you were worth saving, and thus I surmise you are God-woken. Now, an important person does not come to Driftwood unless they seek someone even more important than themselves, so I further surmise you are here for me and will help me down. Now! Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net. Excellent. Now, if you'd be so kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
cornered.
Speak. Driftwood is mostly the same as every other fishing town. It's got the same aroma and the same herds of unwashed dwarves. The Void, though, it's closing in. Voidwoken roam the land and pollute the sea. But they haven't invaded the town.
You ever think about running off, like Barnby and Sam?
Stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
You're safe among
Ah.
friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by culprits still at large!
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right, as long as I don't think too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
The Meister turns to you, her eyes wide with worry.
Oh, pardon. I'm so sorry. How could I have forgotten? Thank you so much. Thank you for rescuing me after they had already strung me up. After they had tortured me for days. After they...
She stops mid-shout, descending into a fit of coughing, wheezing, and groaning. She glowers at you as she slowly regains her composure.
If we are quite finished with politeness, there is so much to do. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magister attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. It really is quite simple. In the corner, there's a painting. Remove it and push the combination to the vault is... I pray my instructions will not be too technical. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder. Push the button. Now,
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Feel free to look about while I catch my breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
Ancient
and
ruins,
try not
weird
to break anything in the
contraptions.
meantime.
This place is an Arcanist's dream.
What's up, Chief? Well, I think I should focus on... And if we pick up a few news...
What can I do for you? Bramos the Wanderer. He's a legend among lizards. The greatest dreamer of them all. The one that has mastered the dark of horror sleep and has found sanctuary amid its horrors. The most inhospitable plane imaginable. A realm of insanity and death beneath a starless black. Picture a maze filled with your greatest fears. Picture haunting that maze forever. That is but the first step into horror sleep. Because if one braves the absolute terrors of nightmare and finds sanctuary there, one is safe even from the void. That's right. Horror sleep is a realm feared by the cosmic menace that is the void. Ideal location for a summer house.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? And you, in your infinite wisdom, would know what is better? You would judge your enemies without prejudice and make decisions that could hurt your own for the greater good? No. Becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Once, although not by a god woken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. Then you will crawl back to whatever hole you came from, where you will sit and wait to see whether the Magisters or the Voidwoken kill you first.
The Meister leans in to speak, her eyes cold and unrelenting.
This is not a game, Godwoken. You may be our last chance to set things right in this world. And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot. Are you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, sauce in the fountain. Go!
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients thrown together. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
Lucky find.
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. The smoke burns your lungs, but you don't feel any different. Your vision slowly starts to clear. You're still standing exactly where you were, a faint burning sensation in your chest. Meant for you. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, as the world fades away,
Deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. You will see when you look me in the eye.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see. Please, speak the spell.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Ralik in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Ralik nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. To save us both, as a matter of fact. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice, in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism, and a dreadful mistake. A mistake we must rectify. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The void's doom. This world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you, or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One. At the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods, their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. Of course, the ends do justify the means. Life, or the eternal void. If you choose life, you choose the well of ascension. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You are already formidable, my chosen. But you underestimate just how much more formidable you could be. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek Masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source you have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. Best of luck.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of Source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient.
Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all Source flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you.
So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only Source Masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turn into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to.
You will not be there long, I assure you. There is only so much you can glean from a twisted mind. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. Alas, I am. And we do not have time to nitpick morals. The Magisters have kept legend, but do be careful not to get caught. I was there. Guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be...
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
The Meister sits slumped in her chair. You notice that some of her scales have dropped to the floor.
What news? Can you channel enough source? Are you powerful enough to proceed? Of course, my supply has rather gone up in smoke. You can find more in the cloister woods to the northwest of Driftwood. Hardly a charming place, but it grows nowhere else. The Magisters kept records of each and every sorcerer in the area. The good, the bad, and the dangerously insane. You have the privilege of seeking out the final of the three. Break into the Magisters' barracks, find their records, and seek out masters of the source. Without their help, you will never have the strength to travel within your own soul. Remember, these are dangerous creatures, but it is vital that you learn what they can teach you, whatever the cost.
The squirrel seems to be...
What can I do for you? In the meantime, though, let us continue our search for Bramos. He knows things I must know.
A vast continent full...
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
You can stay there with the dirty lizards and Joe's mum until you're cured.
Rest until the killer is found.
Take that, sorcerer! Dallas, get her!
You're dead, Alexander. Alexander, you're dead. You have to stay dead until we say you're not dead anymore.
Here, mister! Alexander doesn't have to stay dead, does it? Hey, are you a lizard? Whoa!
Cool. I think you look weird.
See? Told ya. Take that, sorcerer. Come on, Dallas, help me put a collar on her.
Turtle Johnny puts an invisible source collar on Mary Lane.
Take that, sorcerer. No more saucy sorcery for you. Alexander and Dallas save the world again. I hate this game.
The three kids stare at you in awe.
Crack! The source collar's broken. I'm free. How about you, Dallas? I'll kill you again, Alexander. I'm a big bad sorcerer. Woohoo!
For a moment, you watch the children play. Then you leave them to it.
Come on, now you think. This is going nowhere. Right, Mummy. I'm just another useless elf. Might as well have rotted in the desert.
A most vile incident. A valiant warrior against the void. Taken too early. all hope destroyed.
The spirit of a magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring! Where's my ring?
The spirit pivots her wrist, staring at the fingerless hand, utterly, morbidly entranced.
I should have been more careful. She hacked at my sword hand first. I couldn't defend myself.
The spirit stares, absorbing your question. Finally, she points her fingerless hand towards the kitchen. The spirit's lips part, trying to form an answer, but it doesn't come. She forlornly stares at you, unable to find the words.
You're good with the magisters caging anyone up.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
Her eyes soften, and
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. You and my Niles would get along. Nice to see an unfamiliar face. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles. Here, have a little something to eat. Niles' favourite, you know. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste. Indeed I am. If he ever comes back home for a visit, I'm sure he'd be happy to show it to you. Anyhow, what can I get you?
Rocks ahead, Captain. Do you hear me? Rocks ahead, Captain. Do you hear me? Rocks ahead, Captain. Do you hear me?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets its sense of bored joy. You're willing to risk bored joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
It's as lush as it's always been. Now train your eyes on my treasures, not my person.
All report. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets its sense of Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Who rings the bell?
got a pit.
Town is
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a malevolent grin, his eyes wide with hate, and...
Are you her, woman, or sail you with us?
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night?
Then you won't sail with her. You ran the ship upon the rocks, Captain, and all the crew were drowned.
The ghost swivels his head back to the sea captain. The bell rings on. The cook acknowledges you with a small bow, an oddly formal gesture given the surroundings.
Please, madam, you should not be back here. It's not safe.
The cook smiles, expertly concealing any offence caused by your comment.
My cooking will only hurt your gold purse. But there are a great deal of sharp implements and hot liquids in here. Please, I must insist.
A ghost? Peddle your children's tales elsewhere. I have work to do.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchen. You should speak to Loverick.
I've spotted something.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander.
This ring, it bears the Magister seal, and there's blood on it.
The spirit of a Magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand. The fingers of...
My ring! Where's my ring?
Something shakes the Magister's ghost from her stupor. Her gaze and brightens.
My ring!
Your words take a long moment to sink in, like they're being translated for the netherworld.
Return it! Home to my brethren!
The spirit smiles at you. If it weren't for the circumstances, it'd be almost heartwarming. The spirit seems more aware of...
Bring it home! Let me
May the seventh usher us to paradise against all odds.
Elsa, my inkwell is dry. Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
Nelson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
I'm watching you, stranger.
Surrounded by incompetence. posting. Bellwether, I need those
Of course,
reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Are you deaf? Your business here, now. People are missing out there. Sworn magisters. Keep your jest to yourself. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only... No matter. He'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you. Well, do you know anything?
The Magister snatches the ring from your palm and stares at it.
This is a conduct award. I presented it to Magister Harrick myself. She was the second one to be taken.
He shudders and abruptly turns to his subordinate.
Bellwether, get over to the Black Bull Tavern and question their cook. See if there's any truth to this. And you, if I find this is some sort of trick, there'll be consequences. Now go. I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake.
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is watch. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is...
The Magister turns to you with a scowl. He already seemed immensely displeased, and your interjection isn't improving his mood.
What?
The Magister glances at you like you're something he just stepped in.
Keep out of it. I'll halve you with my sword if you don't mind your own. That's what I want to know. Stuck here with those silent things? The new leadership ought to learn to respect its veterans. We're the ones who uphold the rule of law, not white ponches like Raymond and Jonathan.
A sly smile creeps across the Magister's face.
Aye, and sooner than you might think, if the rumours are true. Let's just say, there's other places where I'd be appreciated more than I am in Driftwood.
The Magister loses some of his bluster.
I ain't saying. It's a secret for loyal members of the Divine Order only. Who asked you? You're not even supposed to be down here. Keep out of it. You'd better move on from here right this instant. You'd better to move on from here right this...